What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Thomas Rose is your three-time YCS champion, taking it down with Orcust here. Azathoth really stunning the competition, as it were. Time Thief Redoer putting in work, and we've seen some interesting cards come back, such as Decode Talker with his deck. Decode Talker setting up to actually kind of counter the meta with cards like Impermanency, being able to shut down text that Salamangreat had. Salamangreat was across the table in the finals and almost took it all down. I feel like this event is pretty much, John, you've been wrong about the meta. I originally said, hey, Orcust ain't doing anything until Dane, and, well, look at it now. It's taking down the event. I said Salamangreat wouldn't take down the greatest piece of a pie, but the representation is insane. The moment I saw the Salamangreat deck sell out, I was like, uh-oh. And then continuing on, just an insane representation throughout the field. We see actually for round one at YCS Dusseldorf, Salamangreat's 364 duelists, which actually doesn't sound like that many compared to the total field. The other section, the diversity of this format, the things people are trying are just absolutely out there. So many Sutff players actually almost matching the Altergeist players. True Draco being represented by far. Trickstars, Skytrikers, Thunder Dragon, and Salamangreat. So actually the three most represented decks do kind of end up showing as we go into the day two standings. Salamangreat 121 duelists after round 10, or going into, I'm not actually sure. Thunder Dragon 65, Skystriker Pure 56, Sutff really up there. They had the same number of Altergeists, but almost double the representation at this point. Danger Orcust really stealing the show. Attack.deck, as Ed called it. It's really putting in that work, and what seemed to originally be an outlier is just taking it down, and over, European events, people were saying, oh, Thunder Dragons, me, that was me. Oh, Salamangreats are gonna take it all, but in a insane turn of events, Danger Orcust taking it all down. We actually look at the top 64, so look at this representation. Only 10 Thunder Dragons versus 28 Salamangreats advance here. Ooh, the pretty big chunk. Skystrikers, so we were said to be in a triangle here, but it's way more. It's such a diverse format, where Skystrikers kind of beat Salamangreat. Salamangreats kind of beat Thunder Dragons, and Thunder Dragons kind of beat Skystrikers. It's an advantage, but all three decks can beat each other, and Danger Orcust represented with just two Thomas Rose taking it down. Crusadia, Sutff, True Draco, and Lunalight, I think, is noted here because it won the last YCS, and then we see others are 8. When we advance all the way into the top 8, we see our players. Daniel here is playing Salamangreats. We have Jonas, I'm sorry for murdering your name, Jonas. Salamangreats as well. We have Dark Warrior Danger with Dinkabui. So basically both like different kinds of decks start bubbling in from the other, and we see Salamangreat again. We see Salamangreat again. We see Danger Orcust with Thomas Rose up in here. We see Sutff with Kantari, alright. And then we see, Danger Thunder Dragon. So one of the Thunder Dragons, only one out of the entire 64, advances into the top 8. Now, we also have news from YCS Dusseldorf II. If you guys didn't know, yeah, this was actually split into two, and the memes from it are hilarious, because YCS Dusseldorf II, I think, was 400-something players, whereas the main event is like 2,300 players. And if those players aren't going down to McDonald's afterwards and dueling it out to see who the true winner is, are you really playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? But seriously, the fact that the attendance was record-breaking, just insane. It was crazy. Actually, people were handed this out. The Mega Regional canceled, and we see it's replaced with YCS Dusseldorf II. So actual prize cards, world points, etc. are handed out, and man, it was actually just insane. Looking like a horror movie set trying to get into YCS Dusseldorf 1. This is from the first day, Saturday, where people are trying to get in. Over 1,700 people pre-registered. This event goes down in history. I'm pretty sure it's the second biggest event ever for Yu-Gi-Oh! If we combine both fields, of course, because it had to be split up. This is absolute madness, absolute insanity. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying has been a dead argument for a while by major event attendance, but we're really seeing it all come out here now. Have you seen the chart? Have you seen the graph? Other here, put lightly. So we do see just by the cut up, Salamangreats are so overrepresented being budget, but yeah, there's still impermanences in the top decks. There's still so much that really makes it not so budget in how it's being played. And when you watch the finals, you can see so many expensive cards, and we're really looking forward to those dual power reprints. But Skystriker and Thunder Dragon go to about even representation as they were in terms of the top cut, but Salamangreat, it didn't just fizzle out in the room. It didn't just like, oh yeah, so many people are playing it, but it's not getting there. I think, what is it, like almost a third of them end up making day 2 if we actually look at it. Like this is insane. 360 to 120. That is literally almost exactly 33%. Like, you are one short of 33% of Salamangreats making it through round 10 to day 2. Think about that. That is absolute madness for the representation of the most insane deck in the room. But then you see, like, the numbers, like 1/4 of these make it, and then about 1/4. Well, yeah, it's close to a third for Skystrikers. It's between a third to a fourth of the Skystrikers make it. So it's not like it just like was overrepresented, and that's why it did so well. I underestimated Salamangreats by far. I've got to own up to it as a tuber, and it really showed out, more so than just being the most played in the room. That it was far more than that in terms of how consistent it remained, how well it did. But again, dude, EU, I gotta say this, thank you so much for the insane, intense coverage. Now, if you're wondering more about YCS Dusseldorf II, again, insane, intense coverage, we actually get to see the day 1 deck breakdown here, where Salamangreats is super represented. Skystrikers actually more represented in this event than Thunder Dragons. Many other decks along the way. Lunalight actually making the chart. Have you seen the chart? And then we see the top 16 breakdown, and Skystrikers end up winning it all. Skystrikers do much better at Dusseldorf II and take it all down, but it's a much smaller event, so like you're not going to give as much credence. Like, I still haven't even got the duelist name that won. I've just heard, oh, Skystrikers won. Skystrikers won. Who? Skystrikers won. Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me the champion's name. So we'll hopefully get that out later. But Skystrikers taking it all down over here and having the favorable matchup, and Trickstar actually being as represented as Thunder Dragon through the top 16 is kind of funny too. So Salamangreat, solid boys everywhere. And I think we're missing a deck because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... yeah, we're missing a deck here. I'd like to know, Konami, as a loyal follower of EU coverage. And I just want to also make a side note. I know they get less YCSs, so they have to give more giant cards at these, but I'm so jealous. The holographic English looks so nice on these, and they're all such great cards. Every single one of these is something I would want. So congratulations to the amazing prize wall winners. Sorry, I'm excited, getting ahead of myself. And just this EU coverage is insane. I'm gonna link you guys to the written coverage if you didn't watch the streams. Everything is still posted up, and I believe on their YouTube as well. They have the feature matches. You can actually go back and see this entire historical event as presented as it should be. Esports. Well, the prizes may not match up to esports, but definitely just insanely amazing coverage from the Europe team. It's what I would like to see come to the US. Chat enabled, by the way. By the way, people still talking over here. Chat enabled. Everything about this was awesome. Now, coming back to Decode Talker, it's weird to me to see it on the field so much. Like, I've always talked about early on Decode Talker getting power crept, and then it left for the meta for so long. But it makes so much sense, actually, being able to protect your rank up magic as a thought from cards like Prankratops. It's just crazy to actually consider that this is worth it. You put the Rusty Bardish in one, you put the Redoer in the other, and you're protected from that first card that they're gonna activate. You're actually able to make sure that your Azathoth is going off and they won't be able to play when you're playing Orcust, and that was pretty cool to see come back. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see these ultimates disappear with only 12 prices. But you still have dollar copies everywhere. Don't worry about it. Even the ultra rare under $1. So that should stay for a while. I don't think people are gonna rush for the Orcust rank up plays. Heck, when Dane comes out, we might not even have the rank up play available to us. We'll have to see for the WCQ season. Remember, April 2nd ban list. But yeah, the YCS was freaking insane. All of this can be linked to, and I'm sitting here still a little shocked. Like, Trickstar is the 4th most represented deck. Without any hits to Trickstar, it's pretty insane to think about. But at the same time, I've been saying back row decks, as long as they're getting a lot of representation, which Altergeist, Subterror, Skytriker, you have so many back row decks right here. And then, of course, Salamangreat bothering to set a lot to the back row. Trickstar Light Stage suddenly becomes a much bigger problem for many people. Like, it's pretty crazy. But thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and go ahead and check the coverage out in the description below. Like, you definitely should be supporting this official coverage and show the US teams the numbers that these kind of things should be getting, so we get more coverage over in the US. Thanks for watching, everybody.